Yep. Had a good practice today. In our shoulder pads, we're in shells today. So last Saturday, we had some live work, went full pads, and did some scrimmage situations, did some live tackling, and it was a good day. Saw a lot of great things. We were able to grade our players and see how they function in a game type of situation. And I'd say overall, if I'm looking at it, I say the offense won the day. So half the team is disappointed and look to bounce back and have better practice today. And I would say is much more evenly matched today. But offensive output was a lot better the first day of full pads, which is a little bit different than what we've seen in years past. So I know defensively we have some things to get in there. We got some young guys, but overall I think the offense just executed better and definitely we're really physical. So that's a good thing. Get our guys ready for our first game coming up. So I'll take any questions that you guys have.
Okay, Jerry, we'll go to you first, then Nat, and then Norma.
Well, Kalani, you had to know we were going to ask, but we got to start by talking about the potential for the season to be canceled. It's all over everywhere right now that it might just end up being postponed until spring. What's that like, dealing with that possibility?
Well, I think there's a lot of discussion going around, but we just go to work. I think we're going to go until they tell us to stop, and our mindset is to just get better every day. I think what we're trying to work as a program is to keep this a low risk environment. Practice with our with the protection that we have, our masks and the shields on our face masks, and then practice social distancing in our meetings and even at practice during our water breaks, making sure that our guys are masked up if they're close together. And that's all we can ask our players and our staff and the support staff and everyone are here to just keep doing it the right way and being safe and thinking of others. And whatever happens, whatever the decisions, that's not my choice. So whatever everyone decides to do, we'll just follow it. But right now we got to go as if we're ready to play a game. And from what I saw from today from the players, I thought it was back to business. Just a little bit different than normal by wearing masks and keeping our distance during the breaks. But other than that, it was a pretty good day.
Matt, you're next.
Kalani, you mentioned that live work you guys went through on Saturday. Maybe who are some standouts from that, and what's the current injury situation through the first week of fall camp?
Oh, the standouts. So you put me on the spot. I would say, the quarterbacks did well, and the running backs. I think Tyler Algier and Jackson McChesney did some really good things with the ball in their hands. Matt Bushman had a great day. I think the receiving corps did a great job. Young freshman Cody Epps is starting to step up, and you could see that he's got a lot of confidence in himself and his skills. But I hate singling out all those guys. I just did it. But I would say overall they were all functioning really well and showed some depth. A lot of young guys stepping up, and we have guys that are here on their own time watching a lot of film. Guys that spend a lot of time together and just have invested. When it's time to go home, we have a lot of guys that stay in here late at night watching film, and that's. I think that's a huge compliment to the coaches that recruited guys that love football. And so I think there's a culture of guys from learning from each other and love the game of football, and I think you should see some really good success from that.
Hey, Norma.
Hey, Coach. So obviously you guys have protocols and precautions in place at practices and at the facilities, but is there anything set in place for when the athletes go home, when they go out, when they're not in your care? And if there is there any way, how are you guys reinforcing that? How are you guys getting after that to make sure that they keep up to it?
Yeah, that we're educating them on ways to. They want to play football. We have to take the proper precautions to make sure that we do our part, and that we try to minimize infection as much as possible. So I think being honest with their symptoms, and we were still going through the screening process and checking in and doing temperatures. But I think for the most part, I have a lot of confidence in the sports medicine department and our players. I think educating them and having them realize that being honest with how you're feeling, and then also being mindful when you're going home. For the most part, our guys are, I think, when they do go home, I think a good portion of them are too tired to do anything. But if they do, we're asking them to be careful and to wear masks and take the proper precautions to keep themselves and others safe.
Great. Mitch and then Jay.
Hey, Kalani, what conversations have players in your locker room today maybe had in regard to the hashtag We Want to Play movement that's a lot of college football players have been discussing around the country?
Yeah, the guys are talking. They've been. I mean, I think it's important for the players to discuss a lot of different issues, and so that's one of the things that I know a lot of coaches and players are talking, and I think it's good to keep the discussion alive and see what others are saying, and any chance that you can learn from what people want, and I think for the most part, a lot of our guys feel the same way. You know, they want to play, but going back to what Norma was asking, we have to be careful and make sure that we're practicing the safely as we can, in our social life and even when we're here in meetings. So I promote our guys hanging out and spending time and speaking and sharing their feelings with each other and their thoughts. And so it's been a really cool experience for me to see the guys doing that. That's part of being a family.
Okay, Jay, and then we'll go to Jason Shepard.
Hey, Kalani, if you could pick one thing that you would like to see the offense improve on and the defense improve on from last year, maybe one overall thing or even specific thing, what would they be?
Offense, score points. Defense, don't let others score points. So, as simple as I can make it. Huh? Yeah, we are live. I mean, all of our red zone on Saturday was all live, and offense did a great job. Scored touchdowns on all the drives, and that's good for the offense, but bad for the defense. But I think for us, we're still trying to get our players to understand the scheme and everything. And obviously, I think you look at the issues that you have on executing. So defensively, you have to sit there and go, okay, where did this thing break down? And if it's there making plays on us, I didn't see a lot of MAs on the defensive side. I just saw players on offense making plays, so defensively now we've got to be a little bit cleaner on our technique so we can be in a position to make the plays. But for the most part, it wasn't us shooting ourselves in the foot defensively, and offensively it's just out executing. So definitely, if we're going live in the red zone, you know how important that is to us to improve on, especially in the first day of pads. And I thought the offense did a great job. The guys have been working hard. It showed, and defensively we just got to get a little bit cleaner. But I think it's really good competition. This is a big offensive line that mauls people, So our D line's they have no choice but to toughen up and stop them. So hopefully in the next live session we'll be able to get more stops from the defense, and I think it was just overwhelmingly positive for the offensive side during the live sessions.
Thanks, Kalani.
Jason, you're up next, and then we'll go with Jacob and Andrea.
Hey, Kalani, you just mentioned the offensive line, and that's obviously a position group that is looked at as one of the strongest on the team. How has the offensive line evolved from the time you got here to today, to what you see now?
Bigger. I think if you just look at their presence, they're bigger. So if you're 6'4" and 300 pounds, you actually look small on the O-line. The rest of the guys are much bigger. I mean, you're looking at guys that came with a thinner frame. Even guys like Tristan Hodge, who has bulked up and added more muscle to his frame. We have a lot of big guys, But I think the key is that they're getting older. That's the difference. There's more veterans in the group and more experienced players that are taking the lead, and it's a good sign when you have the leadership coming from the offensive line on the offensive side of the ball. So, and we have a lot of guys that have played a lot of reps, and you're looking at the experience that we have from the O-line, from the tight end position, from the running backs. It helps make up a lot of the lack of seniors and veterans that we see in the receiving core. So overall, I think the offensive line is just taking the leadership of the offense, which is actually affecting and having an impact on the defensive side as well. So it's a good thing when the O-line's leading the team, but overall size and stature is a big difference.
Thanks, Kalani.
I wanted to ask you about, in terms of when you went live on Saturday, how are you going to balance with guys who've played a lot of games, let's say like a Brady Christensen, a James Empey, guys who've had a lot of starts under their belt versus using that time to develop younger talent?
Yeah, we had the thought of holding some guys out, but the offensive guys, they get offended when you recommend that. So no one was held out, and then defensively, we're trying to hold out guys like Isaiah Kafusi and Peyton Wilgar, some others that have played a lot of games, but they all just wanted in, so they all played, and I don't think anybody got held out on Saturday, and I like that. But I mean, I don't think you go in with a passive mentality. We talked about letting the players have ownership on it, and if they want to get out there and practice and get some live reps, it's hard to get better at football if you don't practice the real game, and so I think I can applaud the guys for wanting to do that, and I think they understand where the coaches are coming from. But I think there's a big chance for us as coaches. There's a big opportunity for us to trust the players and have them trust their bodies and kind of give us some feedback on how they're feeling. And if they want to get into live work, that's what they worked all off season for. So we might as well let them have some.
Andrea?
Yeah, okay. Hi. So obviously there's so much going on with uncertainty, and news is changing by the minute, by the hour, and the head coach, the coaching staff is supposed to just be even keel and have their heads on straight the whole time and keep the players in check and all these things. So my question is, how are you and your coaching staff feeling? How do you guys keep stable, keep strong, and continue to be that leading core for a program that really is changing every hour of every day?
I was doing good until you reminded me of the expectations that you have of me, all the media members, So, no, I honestly, man, it's football. I love being out here with the kids. I love being out here with the players and smelling the grass after it's cut and being around the trainers and the managers, and just love hearing guys hit, and I don't know. It's different because everyone's in masks and stuff, but I mean it's so much fun. I can't believe this is work. So to me I think coaches take too much credit for something that they love doing. You know what I mean? And I wish I could sit here and say, oh, it's so grueling and hard, but guys, I'm living a dream. I love being here, hanging out with everybody and playing the game. I get to coach wonderful young men for a great fan base and be around great people. So no complaints from me. It's to answer your question, it's pretty easy, when you're surrounded by great people. So yeah, but thanks for doing that. I was just like, oh yeah, they expect me to do all that stuff. That's great. Thanks, Andrea.
Just had to remind you.
Yeah, that'll work too. Well, I appreciate it though, but thank you. I think people give us way too much credit. You guys could all do it. You guys could all be even keel, and if you love people, you could do it. Jay, maybe not. I wish you guys were here so I could clown around and joke with everybody. I got everybody over here. It's like Brett's afraid to laugh. Brady, I see you at least giggling a little bit. Yeah, so I've worked on some new material. Nobody's biting on it. Nobody's laughing.
Hey, we'll take a couple more. We'll go with Mitch, Jared, Jay, and Norman. That'll round it up.
Okay.
Kalani, has there been have you made an emphasis maybe to get NFL scouts out to camp just with the uncertainty of the season and lack of potential games? I mean, has there been a concerted effort to maybe get NFL scouts out to practice to see your seniors, especially to kind of get eyeballs on them?
Yeah, we have. I think the key is for us not to really do anything other than just be available for them. So the scouts know that when they come here, they have a place that they can go to. We have our support staff that works with it, Jason Ayu and Jack DeMooney and John Swift do a great job at giving them all the resources that they need, whether it's film or being access to the players or being on the field. So they're always welcome. But I think right now, understanding what's happening in the world right now, I think it's okay for us to just be ready and be available for whenever they need it. But yeah, we have a lot of guys that need to get evaluated, and then there's a lot of underclassmen, juniors that are in a situation where they could be in a good place to making a decision after the season.
Kalani, you touched on mentality a little bit, and one of the things when you have ups and downs and inconsistency with young players is also developing the right mentality and making sure the kids are ready to have the killer mentality when the games come around. Also, with all the distractions, you got to have the right mentality. What are you guys doing to address mentality side to try and keep that focus as well as making sure they're ready to have that killer mentality when the games get here.
Yeah, we have all the resources available. Our mental health coaches, the people that are here to help them individually if they need that. Our coaches are trained in how to help motivate our young men to play. Everyone's kind of on the same page here, but I would have to say that the thing that helps it the most is leadership on our team and the veterans. We just have a lot of guys that are been here. This isn't like their first camp, and then to be honest with you, the newcomers, guys that are coming off their missions or guys that are freshmen or newcomers to the program, it's just a different mentality now because they're joining a group that loves football and loves watching film, and it kind of fits their mindset, So I'm just seeing a lot of guys that are very very much similar in the way that they approach the game of football, and then they appreciate the game and love playing it. And I mean, there's guys that just survive through practice, and there's guys that actually relish in it, and I would say the majority, if not all of them, relish being out there on the field, and that's the best part of their day. I can't complain from here.
Thanks, Kalani.
Okay, we'll have Jay and then Norma, and I think that'll be due. We'll have to finish that one, and then we have Brady Christensen, offensive line, ready to join us. So Jay, then Norma.
Yeah, I don't have any further questions.
Oh, okay. Norma?
Yeah, so last week the Big 12 made their announcement that they were going to do a conference-only schedule, and there had been a lot of talk that maybe BYU could get in there. Now, with the talk of some P5s moving to cancel their season, there's talks again of maybe BYU attempting to poach teams and possibly getting BYU in the mix. I guess just what type of rumors or conversations have you been hearing about this topic?
That's I don't really get involved with all that stuff. I just whatever shows up. That's a Tom Homo question. That's for the administration. But I appreciate you asking. I really got to, like I think I said it the first day that we had practice. I just said that we're gonna be ready for the opportunities that come our way. And so right now we're focused on getting that kickoff against Navy and being ready to match the toughness of that team. But I'm not listening to all the rumors and all that other stuff. I've got a lot of work to do other than that. Fun work, though.